Welcome to this lecture, and it's time to get started with the very expensive and mostly used loop in the C++ programming or any of the programming language, which is the for loop. So as I just told you that loops are used in the programming to repeat the specific block of code. In this lecture, you will learn to create a for loop in C++ programming with the help of example. So there are three types of loop, which is for, while, and do while loop. And in the while loop, we have the do while loop and the infinite numbers of while loop, what I just create in my last lecture. So let's just see how this while loop for loop is working. So for, and here the syntax is simply a little bit tricky, which is here I just write initializer or initialization statement. So here you just simply write the initialization statement, then test expression. So it will test the expression here and then update statement here. So this is the simple syntax of the for loop. First of all, you just initialize the statement, then test the expression, and then update the expressions. Operand, operator, operand. Simply the concept like this one. Okay. So how this for loop works? The initialization statement is executed only once at the beginning. You can see here this statement will execute once at the beginning. Then it will go to the test expression. So then the test expression is evaluated. If the test expression is false, the loop is terminated, but if the test expression is true, the code inside the body of for loop is executed and update expression is updated. It will go to the update statement right here. Again, the test expression is evaluated and the process repeat until the test expression is false. Okay, so simply this is a simple syntax and the concept of the for loop. Let's just see the example of this for loop with the help of factorial example. So hash include and input output streaming right here. Then using namespace, which is the std, and integer main function. So main function is a by default function. We have some of the user defined function also. We are talking about that user defined in our next lectures. So here I just write fact and fact which is equal to 1. Same like the while loop, and cout which is less than. Here I just write enter a positive integer. Okay, and then cn, it will take the input as the n, means this number. Okay, then for, and here I just write I which is equal to 1 and I which is less than or equal to n and I plus plus. So you can see here, first I just initialize this statement right here, which is I is equal to 1. Then it will check the expression and update a statement with the help of increment or the decrement operator. Okay, now here I just write fact as a factorial keyword, which is a multiplication of factorial, which is equal to I. Okay, so the reason behind that, factorial which is equal to factorial multiply I, and then cout which is factorial of, and then here I just write and then here I just write n. So number, it will print the number right here, and which is equal to and which is equal to fact. Okay, and return 0. Now just check the output. So yes, so here is an error which is the factorial of, and which will print the n and then the factorial. Okay, now just run it again, and I just add an integer which is 25. It's 25, and you can see here the factorial of the 25 is this one. Okay, so this is a simple program with the help of factorial. So in this program, user is asked to be enter a positive integer, which is the 25 here, and which is stored in the variable n. So it will store in the variable n here. Suppose or not suppose, you just enter 25, and here is a working of for loop. Like, first of all, it will initialize I is equal to 1. So it will initialize at I is equal to 1. Then it will check the expression, means I is less than or equal to n or not. Okay, and then the factorial becomes 1. Okay, so I is updated to 2 and test expression is 2 and becomes to 2. So these like this one, so it will goes up to 25 and check the conditions become true or false. So it will give us the result right here. So this is a simple syntax of the for loop in the C++ programming. So remember that for loop is very much important in any programming language. So if you find any of the problem regarding this for loop, please let me know. Thanks for watching this lecture.